Là, ça filme.
C'est bon, je fais les photos. Non, c'est en pause.
Non, il est en pause.
Hi. Feels like Halloween in here. It's like, were more people dressed in costume than there were before? Yes? No?
No.
You don't know. Are you in a costume? With the pink hat? What are you dressed as? What are you dressed as? You're dressed as hat? You're dressed as you. I know, buddy. What is it with grown-ups? We can't stop making like baby faces at babies. Babies look at us like, what the hell are you doing?
Rien, il dit, mais putain, le bébé qui est en train de se dire, mais qu'est-ce qu'il est en train de me faire?
Oh, I am so over this, y'all. So hey, how many of you guys were here yesterday so I don't use the same jokes? Tell I'm going to use the same jokes. I only got one shtick. Does anybody have any questions? Why am I at this podium? I don't know. I don't know, this kind of feels like official. I feel like I'm lecturing. So, in 1997, the show began in Volkswagen. Does anybody have any questions? Because other than, are we doing any more Stargate episodes? After 6 years, I'd say no. You just clued into that now. Okay, good. They're still showing the repeats. Does anybody think it's on for the first time? Maybe? I'm much older.
The like line.
Does anybody have any questions? No, I hate science fiction. No, I like good storytelling. And I think science fiction is a great medium for good storytelling. It's also a great medium for bad storytelling. Like you have a James Cameron movie like Avatar, which is a great storytelling device. And then you have Prometheus.
Et puis tu as Prometheus avec...
Ah, Prometheus, oui, oui, oui. J'ai pas compris le mot.
Could someone please explain that movie to me?
Jusqu'à la mienne.
And also explain to me how they keep walking around saying, it's not a prequel, it's not a prequel. Liars! And who were the bald, muscular guys? The early engineers. Yeah, I know that, but who were they, and why do they hate people so much? No one? No theories? You got one? Yeah?
Maybe they will explain it in the sequel.
Maybe they'll explain it in the sequel. Is a sequel to a prequel, what would you call that? A sequel? Prometheus 2, the explanation. Prometheus 2, the apology. Any other questions? Yes, sir. Sorry, say that again?
I have a degree that you're going to be in several projects in the near future, so I'd love to hear more about the upcoming projects.
The latest one I did, we did the second season of Saving Hope, which I don't believe airs in Belgium yet.
No.
Pirate Bay.
C'est quoi ce truc de
Ah, c'est quoi téléchargement?
Ah! Je connaissais pas les
It's a lesser known channel on your laptop. We just finished, about 3 weeks ago, we finished the second season of a series that I've been doing with Erica Durantz and Daniel Gillies in Toronto called Saving Hope. And we're hoping to hear pretty soon about our third season. So, yeah, hopefully it'll come here. I know it's in Italy and Portugal and Spain and the UK and Germany. We're narrowing it down. We're surrounding you. I think France and Belgium are some of the holdouts, so. In Holland? No? No? Okay. I'll make some calls. You didn't know the season? You didn't? What do you mean you didn't get all? Are you? You didn't get? What? You like air what, like 8 seasons of the show and then you stop airing it? Oh, don't worry about that. They all like go back to Earth. It's kind of a Star Trek ripoff kind of thing. It's all bullshit. Yes.
Can you tell us how were you cast for Stargate, and did you see the movie Stargate with Kurt Russell?
Yeah, I was doing a Shakespeare festival in Toronto when I got the call for an audition for it, and I was couch surfing on my girlfriend and a friend of mine couch back and forth, and I'd heard about the audition, so I'd seen the movie in theaters when it first came out, and I rented it again, and remember VHS tapes? I went and got one of those at Blockbuster. Remember Blockbuster? Yeah. Went and got the movie and watched it a couple times, and pretty much ripped off James Spader's portrayal for the audition, and then for the show. And then kind of developed over time, and eventually whatever. But yeah, it was just an audition. I just wanted a damn job, so I figured I should go get one.
So, I don't know actually your background. You were first a theater actor, or?
Yeah, I went to theater school for about 4 years to study the classics, Shakespeare and Molière and Stanislavski's bullshit method and Chekhov and all that stuff. I did a little bit of TV and film while I was in theater school, and went to the Stratford Festival for 2 years and did that, and then decided there was more out there. And so I wanted to do some TV and film, and thought that doing Stargate would be a good job for a year or two to learn the business. 3 children later, a decade later, here we are. So yeah, that was my background. I didn't really start doing professional stuff until I was in my 20s. I grew up in a small town where there was very little professional work, period. So it was good. I'm glad I waited until I was in my 20s to actually start professionally. Hi. You don't have a question, you have a car. Yes?
What was your most awkward moment while filming Stargate?
My most awkward moment? Well, that was easy. When Daniel came back in season 7.
Qu'est-ce qu'il a dit là? Quand Daniel est mort dans la saison 6.
Il est revenu à
And
poil.
he was naked.
2 times.
Which is fine,
2 fois
being
qu'il est
naked is
revenu.
okay. It was the fact that Daniel was naked, he appeared somewhere
With a flag.
on some planet. Well, that planet happened to be a dog walking park in Surrey. That's the part you don't see when you watch the show, is you don't see the people walking their, Labradors off the side. Oh, what are they filming over there? And it was March in Canada.
J'ai pas tout capté.
I'm not proud.
Il n'est pas fier de quoi?
My Audi became an innie.
Ah oui, ok.
Yes.
What is your best experience filming Stargate?
Was my best experience filming Stargate?
Most rewarding.
God, most rewarding. Most rewarding.
Quoi? C'est l'anglais à l'américaine? Ouais. Mais Parle vite, parle très vite.
Being able to afford my first house, that was what it was. I mean, there was all sorts of little victories along the way. I mean, shooting TV is a real kind of arduous journey, and you guys get the end result and the process. It's like what they say about television is if you really like sausages, never go see how they're made. It's kind of like television. If you really like a TV show, don't go see how it's made, because it's not pretty. And all the wonderful, glamorous things that you see at the end of the rainbow in an episode of SG-1, the process of getting there is quite the gross, convoluted, naked, crappy mess. So there was all sorts of little, victories and little moments that you always remember. The beginning of the show when we were first cast, and we went, myself and Amanda and Christopher all went up into the boardroom and we saw the view of the gate for the first time. And we kind of looked around this giant set and went, this is all for us, man. This is so cool. Like, we made it, we did it. And at the very end of filming our last episode, we all went back up into that same boardroom and looked down on it again when it was all over after 10 years, and that was quite misty, but it was also quite satisfying. We'd gone through a lot together, and it was a heck of a journey, and it was a nice way to sort of cap it off. But there was all sorts of, we had so much fun. We had so many different people that sort of passed through, and I think the main thing that I always found the most satisfying about doing the show was whenever people walked away, they always said what a great show and set it is to work on, and how nice everybody was, and everybody that came in that was a little bit defensive or gun shy about it, they all walked away going, what a great group to work with, and what a lot of fun was having that show. And I think that's the thing I'm most proud of, especially in this business where things can be a little bit icky sometimes. It's always nice to go work somewhere that everybody else sees it like you see it. It's a really nice experience. Saving Hope's a lot like that too. Everybody that comes on that show really admires how sweet and wonderful everybody is. I think it's me. It must be me.
Oui, j'ai trouvé.
Yeah, the most satisfying thing is me. That's what it is.
Do you still see people starting days? Do you put effort into finding jobs?
No, I don't want to see those pricks ever again. No, I see the people I see the most. I see, you guys know who Martin Wood is? Martin, who went on to be one of the producers of Sanctuary with Amanda. Yay! Martin, our kids are best friends. He's got a son and daughter. They're my film daughter's age, and so we're at each other's house all the time. I see him like 4 or 5 times a week. We were actually, I was attached to Saving Hope, so he wanted me to lead in the Primeval spin-off. It didn't make it last. He really wanted me to do that with him, and I couldn't do it, unfortunately. I really love Martin. I love working with Martin, so I do that again in my heartbeat. We see each other all the time, so we're always talking about projects and whatnot. I see Amanda all the time. Our kids go to the same school. Still in touch with a few people. I haven't talked to Ben in a fair bit, a couple of years. I ran into him with a few auditions a while back, and I speak to Claudia every now and again. Rick, Rick's Rick. You can't stay in touch with Rick. It's impossible, no matter how hard you try. So I run into him wherever, and we just did a convention in Calgary this year and got caught up, and I saw him again in Toronto when he was there doing the fan expo there. So just little tidbits like that. We'll see each other again next year. So. But other than that, I stay in touch with Bo a little bit. Here and there and everywhere, but I think the people I see most are Amanda and Martin.
If a movie or a series is successful, they make sequels or spin-offs. Also with Stargate. What did you think about the spin-offs of Stargate?
Oui, c'est ça que je me demandais.
They sucked. Atlantis was universe was no, I'm just kidding. I thought Atlantis was in the same tone. It was. I thought Hewlett was great on the show. I thought Dave Hewlett was great on the show. I didn't see a lot of the show, so it's kind of hard to say. I saw a lot of the first season of Universe, and I didn't see much after that. I thought Universe was really great. I thought the visuals were fantastic. I thought the acting was top notch, and the dramatics were great. I thought Robert Carlyle was fantastic, and the 2 times I got to work with him on the show, it was great. He's a wonderful professional actor who can make a mountain out of a molehill. But I, like the rest of the audience, also felt it was lacking something that, was Stargate, which was a little bit more humor. And, they weren't the same kind of show, so it was hard to, like apples and avocados, it wasn't the same thing. Atlantis was much more like our show. I think as cheesy as we were sometimes, they, with the Wraith or whatever storyline, got a little bit kind of cheesy, but I thought the cast was, had some nice chemistry and there was some nice balance. I thought I got to work with Hewlett for a little bit too, so that was a lot of fun. So I appreciate that. So they were all, I thought that they're very different. I mean, the cast was very different on Atlantis, but the tone was similar, and the universe was a completely different animal. So, which I guess people didn't really care for that much in terms of the tone of it being different.
Yes, when you accept to play Daniel for the first time, did you believe that it will be for 10 years and that it will be a success? No. and that you will meet your wife because of this.
Sorry, say
you meet your wife in Stargate, no?
No.
Lexia.
I met one of my children, but that's not my
yes, okay. I didn't, sorry, I didn't know.
Yeah, make sure to hold up your video camera for this explanation.
Okay.
So was it satisfying to meet my wife on this show?
No, it's all right.
Ask my lawyer. No, I'm just kidding. I think when we all started the show, like the way that the series started was we had 2 seasons guaranteed, and all of us, because that was kind of unheard of in television, especially now, we went, yeah, right. And I thought I was going to get fired at any moment, or someone was actually going to figure out what we were doing. We signed 5-year contracts, and when you sign a 5-year contract, it's like a pipe dream that you're actually ever going to get there. So when we first started, we were thinking we'd maybe get 2 years out of this at best, and that would be the end of it. There wasn't a fairly decent, at that particular point, this is 1997, mind you, there wasn't a fairly decent success rate with taking a movie and turning it into a TV series. I think MASH was really the only example, and Buffy later on sort of solidified that as well as we did. We kind of broke the mold a little bit with everybody else in terms of taking a movie and turning it into a successful series, but none of us expected it, let alone to go 10 years.
Yes.
I think we probably all would have jumped off a bridge if we thought we were going to be doing that long at that time. So, none of us ever foresaw the success of the franchise, let alone that it went into spin-offs and audio books and video games and all the other stuff that's come about. We never sort of saw it. I never certainly thought I would have seen myself here in front of you all some 16 years later, still talking about the damn thing. So yes, I never foresaw that.
Thanks.
My favorite episode? I have a number of, after 207. How many of them? No. 203? Somebody? Anyone? Come on, there's one of you that knows the answer to this. How many episodes we do? 215?
17.
Ish? 17?
217.
217? Is that how many we did?
I think.
No.
I'm sure.
215 was 200 was the 5th episode of season 10, and it finished.
Yay, Carol! Movie prize. Oh, nice. Jesus. Get a life. Yeah, okay. 215 episodes. So what was the question? Which one was my favorite? Well, I liked 111. I thought 76 was strong. No, I have different favorites for different reasons, so there's no one puritanical favorite. I think I usually have ones that are favorites by season for different reasons. I think the first season was probably Torment of Tantalus was my favorite, just because I thought when we did it, when I saw what Rob Cooper had written, I went, that's the show. That's what our show should be about this level of, exploration and discovery and trying to figure out the universe and all that other stuff. But as time wore on, different ones for different reasons. I thought Heroes was probably our most adult, grown-up, touching episode because it grounded the story and the perils, the cartoonish kind of perils that we go through. It grounded in real life a little bit more, especially when it came to the service people and the military and whatnot. I really enjoyed Prometheus Unbound because I got to work with Bobby Black for the first time. Kicking the crap out of each other and making up our own dialogue and stuff like that. And it was a lot of fun. And I loved the 200th episode. We fun ourselves. And, this was a wide variety. I liked Lifeboat because it was probably the most acting challenge I've been given on the show, and it was a lot of fun to do when we were doing it. There was a number of different reasons. Certainly not the one where I wore the pajamas in season 5, where I was Lord Yu's personal whatever he was. It wasn't that or that episode. So yeah, I've got a number of favorites for a number of different reasons. Yes, sir. Yeah, it was actually, what was hilarious about it was at the last second, Ben and I were talking, because originally Ben was going to be playing Crichton in that particular spoof, and at the last second, him and I both were thinking the same things. Wouldn't it be funnier if this is Vala's imagining? Wouldn't it be funnier if Daniel was in that outfit? And he brought that up to me, and I said, "Oh my God, but I didn't want to take that away because I knew that was special." And he said, "No, he said I don't want to parody myself in this thing, so I think it's great if we switch." So at the last second, we switched, and I played the Crichton character, and he got to play. Well, what's the guy with the half face thing? Stark. Nice.
J'ai pas suivi la question. Qu'est-ce qu'il demande?
One more. God, so much pressure. You've had your hand up for a bit, so yes.
Je sais pas.
The show Daniel Jackson is supposed to be the expert on the Google language. Do you know
No. Like, how shows have Bibles of stuff? Like, like the Klingon have their own, language that you can actually learn and shit? He didn't. It was all... Consistently anybody, none of the stuff matched up, other than Creed. Or the names of stuff, like Hatak, Jafar. So no, I was not. I'm barely the expert in English, quite frankly. So let's do one more. Yes, we.
Do you ever have YouTube problems with medical terminology that is not
No, actually, strangely, I don't, because you can, this wonderful thing called the internet, where you can actually, figure out all the correct pronunciations of every word. You can have them, they sound it out to you and all this stuff. So it's quite easy to get. And then if you're ever in doubt, we just ask our medical experts, and they tell us. It's always. Oh yeah, occasionally you trip over it. Like I think Erica had, she had something which was something like a deep laceration in the left lobe of the liver or something like that, which was all hells. And you could imagine how many times that took, because it was just a tongue twister. But we occasionally screw them up a little bit, but in terms of actually figuring out what you're supposed to say and stuff, it's actually there, unlike science fiction where they make this stuff up. And our writers had this penchant for putting strange accents over words, you know, like where it's like, what the hell does that mean? Like, it's like hop hop with a little apostrophe in between kind of thing. What is that supposed to mean? Like, were you Flemish and you just kind of like, get that from? So, actually talking about real life stuff that actually exists is far easier than that science fiction nonsense. Yes, one last one. It's a saving vote question. When is Charlie going to tell Alex? Yeah. When is he going to tell her? Stay tuned.